How's it going, guys? Mutant XP back on the mic. Welcome back to the Mutant XPerience podcast. We are streaming live on this Friday. Thank you for joining us and taking a break from watching all that exciting Street Fighter V action at Evolution 2018. I love those pool matches because those, in all honesty, actually, the pool matches are the sickest, right? Because that's when anything can happen. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us on the podcast. Today, I have a very, very special guest, someone I've been wanting to talk to for a long time. Fairly new to the Third Strike scene, all the way from the UK. We got Farhan in the house. How's it going, Farhan?
Yo, man, I'm all good. How are you doing?
Let us know how well you can hear me. Let us know how well you can hear Farhan. Really exciting show today. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about Farhan and his, I guess what we would call his rapid ascension to Third Strike stardom. Slowly, finally getting there. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the UK scene again, because we have another Gutter Trash on the horizon. I believe it's October 7th to 8th or 8th to 9th, one of those 6 to 7. One of those.
I think it's 6 to 7.
6 to 7, yeah. October 6th through 7th is the next Gutter Trash.
Yeah, it hasn't been finalized just yet, but one of those days anyway. 6th to 7th, I think.
Yeah.
Is what they on Facebook.
And it's volume 9, right? 9th iteration.
Is it 9? I believe it is 9. Yeah. Well, if you count North as well.
Well, if you count North, it would be 10, right?
10. Okay.
It'd be interesting. 10. Wow, that's amazing.
Anyway. Yeah, it's going to be a special one.
Amazing longevity. So yeah, guys, I guess we'll go ahead and get the show started here. Farhan and I were actually talking before the show, and in like sort of a romantic novel-esque way, our ships sort of passed by, right? without really seeing one another. For those of you who remember, the last time I was in London was in 2016, April 2016, where I helped put on Fight Club UK. Obviously, I was on the stream, a lot of the UK players, and to this day, this sounds like I'm kissing ass and everything, which is weird. Why would I need to kiss anyone's ass? But, to this day, that's probably one of my favorite sort of events, just in terms of, the way it went down, production-wise, just running the stream, playing, and just overall just, getting to know people. I mean, that was an amazing night when I went down to Violent City and we streamed some matches. And
2016 that happened.
Yeah, it was in 2016. And so Farhan, you said that you hadn't really started playing Third Strike until like a couple months after that?
I think so, yeah. I think I started playing at the end of 2016. Again, at Violent City where I started. And it all happened literally by coincidence. I didn't go to play Third Strike. I just ended up playing, and that was it. Took over from there, mainly.
Yeah, definitely. So, tragic as it is, our paths are going to have to cross some other time. Farhan, but I did find that kind of interesting that we missed each other just by a few months. But before we talk about 2016 or 2018, let's go straight from the beginning, man. So how did you get into video games? Like, was it something that you were just always into, or how did that come about, man?
Yeah, well, video games, I played everything, whether it's single player games, shooting games, first person shooters, and fighting games. Obviously, I started playing fighting games way back, many years ago, but I never took it seriously. I just played at home. I played like Street Fighter 2, the Alpha games, but it was always just to mess about with my brothers and stuff. But the main turning point, I think, was Street Fighter 4, 2009, when it first came out. I knew about the fighting FGC and stuff, but this was a game where I thought, I enjoy playing it. Let me try getting into it. And I was always like an online warrior. I never knew there was like a UK scene ever. I always just thought it's an American thing. Oh, here's Evo. Great, I can't wait to watch it. And I always just played online. So I was literally an online scrub from the 2009 days, man. I started on pad as well. And it just took off. So I just carried on playing online Street Fighter 4. I actually got my first arcade stick. It was my birthday present.
Wow.
I think 2010. I think I know Super Street Fighter 4 when that came out.
Well, that came out in 2008, right?
2008, sorry, up to my
Yeah.
2010. 2008, when that came out, I think that year, I just wanted an arcade stick, and my family actually got me one for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, I just did not stop playing this game. I was online literally every day, every night, just playing. Bear in mind, I was just playing. I didn't know nothing about frame data, execution, punish. Nothing, this was all new. All I wanted to do was just literally land combos. That was my thing. If I could do some crazy combo, I didn't care if I win or lose. In my mind, I've won.
Mm-hmm.
I landed a great one-frame link combo. Even though I didn't know it was one frame, I was doing them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, man. I just carried on playing. But the main big turnaround point when I discovered that there was a scene, I was actually in London, and there's a place called Meltdown.
Meltdown.
It's in London. This is where like all the top Street Fighter 4 players were playing or gathering up. And at the time, these were all like the top players. Again, I didn't really know them because I never knew there was a UK scene at all. So it was on my birthday again. Me and my brother were in London for my birthday. So on my birthday, we were there, and Meltdown was running. So we thought, hold on, let's just check this out. And I've always been bragging that, yo, I'm a great player. I can beat anyone. This is all that scrub mentality, man, from playing online. So we actually went down Meltdown. The first player I played was Tyrant. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He's actually a great Street Fighter 4 and 5 player. He does commentary. He knows his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But again, at this time, I didn't know who this player was. So I just sat down and played him. I'm pretty sure he was a bit drunk because it was quite late into the night. He was out of it. But I thought, hold on, this is a great way for me to impress my brother. Because again, he's not into fighting games. Let me just show him how I beat mans, as I call it. So I was playing and I absolutely got bodied. I think it was like 22 to him.
Wow.
I just got bodied, man. And I couldn't do anything. I was trying multiple characters, trying everything I do. Nothing's working. And from that moment, after it all finished, he told me about, there's a UK scene, follow this group on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, what is this? I never knew anything about this. Because again, even when I was playing at home, I didn't have a game monitor. I was playing on a big 50-inch TV. So with Street Fighter 4, you do need to play on like a monitor, man, because of like tight links. So at home, I was perfect. I thought, I'm the greatest. It was a different story. So yeah, I followed that Facebook group, UK Fighting Games. So I followed that and just carried on reading through it. Just like a dream come true, man. People in UK playing offline. I was like, this is exactly what I need. Like, I want to play offline. I never knew it was such a thing here. So I got there, I was just following the group, and one day someone literally posted, oh, Nottingham scene starting soon. I'm from Nottingham. And it just took off from there. I attended the sessions. Good mate of mine, Earl, he's actually like the main person for the Nottingham fighting game scene. He runs Robin Hoods. And I just started going there, playing, and that was it, man. Like, starting to meet people, realizing, learning more about the game. And I thought I knew, like, there's loads of depth, and I already knew about it. It just opened a whole new world. So I was like, this is great. There's so much to learn. And I was on it, man. From that day, I just carried on playing.
Wow. It sounds like you had a pretty approachable scene to kind of help you get integrated into the whole FGC.
Man. I think there were loads of players like myself in Nottingham that played online, but had no way to play locally together against real opponents. So, because the sessions were a great hit, man. It was a good turnout. Loads of people come in. Loads of different games were being played. I think it's like something everyone wanted, and everyone was ready to support it. So, it was a dream come true, man. It was really good, and it's still going on till this day.
Oh, wow, great. So Meltdown is still open, or that place?
That shut down a while ago, man. It's been a good few years. So the London scene, they just keep changing venue. I think Red Bull or the Capcom HQ where they play mainly. But yeah, Meltdown's definitely shut now. It was a big place, but I don't think it's in the UK anymore.
So let's talk about Third Strike specifically.
Yeah.
Where did you first discover Third Strike? Like, where did
Okay.
you first see it or touch it or play it?
I've seen like the Evo moment
Mm-hmm.
back when it was a while ago, I think 2004. So I mean, I've always seen that. I always knew of the game, but I've never actually played it. I might have
Mm-hmm.
played it at home on like PS2, just with family at home. But again, it was never serious. It was just literally button mashing.
Mm-hmm.
So we played that, and then I never really played it after that. Like I said, Street Fighter 4. After Street Fighter 4, I went straight to Street Fighter 5. So I was playing that for a bit, and the way I discovered Third Strike or got into it was at Violent City. I think again 2016, the event To Live and Die in Violent City.
Ah.
Yeah, I actually went to that tournament to play Street Fighter 5. That's all I went there for, because a few of the good Street Fighter 5 players were there. So I actually just went there to enter that. But again, at the event there was Super Turbo, Third Strike, Guilty Gear, Breaker's Revenge. So there's plenty of games there. But again, mainly for Street Fighter 5. So a few of our good friends went down. A lot of the Dudley boys went down. I was obviously there. A good friend of mine, Jassy, Singo. Don't know if you met him last time he came.
Yeah, Jesse. I know Jesse. Yeah.
Yeah, Jassy. So he was there. He's like, enter these games. I was like, I haven't played any of these games.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Just enter them. He just forces me. Jassy always forces me to do something, man, I don't want to do.
Okay.
In particular one, it was to enter tournaments for games I'd never played. So I actually entered
He's
SF5 main.
He's like your Master Roshi, I guess.
Yeah, man, he's the ultimate Dudley boy general, man.
Yeah,
The peer pressure's real. In that event, I actually entered pretty much everything. I entered Guilty Gear, Breaker's Revenge, games I never played.
Uh-huh.
I just entered. I go, I'm here now. It's like a 2.5 hour journey. Might as well make the most of it.
Yeah.
So I entered. I played Third Strike. It's literally the worst match you could possibly see. It was just horrible. I played my friend Elliot, also known as Gasman.
Mm-hmm.
I played him. I think we played Ken Mirrors. It was a mess. Literally, it was like I was trying to do Street Fighter 4 things. I did like Ken's target combo into heavy DP. Heavy DP just whiffed. I was like, what is going on? This is
and
everything I know.
And just to clarify, that was the first time you have ever touched Third Strike?
Yeah.
At Live or Die in Violent City.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the first time I've seen Third Strike at a high level on cabs. That was the first time I played, man, at that event. I think Harley was commentating, and he was like shouting over the side saying, "Mate, your traditional Street Fighter 4 stuff ain't working in this game."
Uh-oh.
I was getting real life coaching on the spot, and just from there, I think I realized this game is the one. I was enjoying it, even though I didn't know what I was doing. But just seeing like all the top UK players play, it was just so hype, man. It just looked good. Music is great. Everything was sick. So from there, man, I thought, you know what? I've got body today, but I'm going straight home and playing Third Strike. And that's exactly what I did. And that was it, man. That's the main turning point. I ended up realizing how much of a good game it was. I dropped Street Fighter 5 just to play this. So all my main things, man, was finished. Third Strike took over.
I want you to talk a little bit more, actually, if you can, about that whole... Because, like, so you were an SF4 player.
Yeah.
You go to this one event, and then someone just forces you to play Third Strike. And then that's how you fell in love with the game. I mean, that's just... I don't know. That's pretty amazing. But, like, can you sort of describe, like, what that was like for you? Like, because, like... Did you start falling, like as you started getting more and more into Third Strike, right? Did you start liking, or did you start hating SF4 more, or did you what was that like? Like in terms of like, were you still trying to play SF4, or like how did that work out for you? Sorry, guys. We're having a little technical difficulties here. Obviously, Farhan's all the way from the UK, so let's see if we can get the feedback here on the camera here. Uh, let's see. Maybe I could just call him back here. All right, let me try calling him back now. See if that helps. Yeah, my apologies, guys. We're having some internet issues here. Let's see if we can. Farhan can't get it together here with the internet. But yeah. So I guess maybe now's a good time to sort of take a quick break, see if we can figure out some of these technical issues. We'll be back with more Mutant XPerience podcasts. We'll get Farhan back and we'll go ahead and have him continue his story of his love story with Third Strike. And so don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
is and how terrible SF5 was. I just wasn't enjoying Street Fighter 5 at the point. Is this sound working? Everyone's saying
yeah, it's working now. It's working.
Working out. All right.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'll just quickly recap. So I stopped playing Street Fighter 4. 5 came out. Like I said, I still enjoy playing Street Fighter 4. I still play ranked every now and then. I just jump on for a laugh. I don't play it seriously anymore. It's just mainly to land combos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, first game, I'll always like it. I still kind of like it, even though I don't play it much. So once when Street Fighter 5 came out, that essentially died out. No one was playing it in UK. People would try to revive it. Didn't really. It wasn't revived. Let's just say.
You're talking about SF4, right?
Yeah, SF4.
Yeah.
So we're playing 5. It was a new game. Everyone was playing it. It was fun for a bit. But once I started playing Third Strike, I realized how much better Third Strike was in literally every way.
To 5 or 4?
To 5. To 5.
To 5.
This is to 5 because mainly I was playing 5 at this point. 4 was virtually finished.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing 5. I thought this was the game, Street Fighter 5. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started playing Third Strike, and it's so much better in every way. It was fun. It was technical. I was getting bodied by everyone, but I enjoyed it, man. It's like I lost for a reason. This guy's better.
Yo, that seems like a universal thing, right, Farhan? Like for some reason, like the really good fighting games from the shitty ones. Like if you get bodied, right, are you still having fun? You know what I mean? Like
that's literally it, man. Even when Street Fighter 5 came out, I was playing. I was doing all right. I was winning.
Like sometimes when you win in SF5, you get stressed, right?
When I win at SF5, man, whether I win or lose, it's the same feeling. I'm not happy. I don't think I've outplayed my opponent. I've done nothing sick. I've just won. It was just annoying, man. I was literally playing the game for the sake of it. I wasn't enjoying it. Why am I wasting my time? So literally, Street Fighter 5 just got dropped, completely dropped. Not to mention the character I was playing got nerfed, but that's a different story.
Who was your character in 5?
I was playing Nash.
Okay.
So infiltration, everyone was on him, so it was good. But I just stopped playing the game. Discovered Third Strike, and just all my fighting game focus was Third Strike. I just stopped playing it. Another thing I'll just quickly sneak in, when I was playing SF5, a lot of the Dudley boys were playing Street Fighter 5 as well. One in particular, Scott. If you
Dudley player.
Oh, Scott! Everyone gets the meme now. Anyway, he was playing 5 as well. Believe it or not, he was playing Nash, and I did beat him quite easily. I'm not gonna brag, but I beat Scott, and he kept saying, "Oh, come see me on Third Strike."
Okay.
Come see me on Third Strike. I go, oh, okay. I've just picked the game up. Let me get into it. So we've had yard sessions at Jassie's house. We've had loads of meets. We're always at the same Third Strike tournament. Ended up, Scott's really good. Don't get me wrong. He's a really good player, but I managed to beat him. Or I managed to get to a level where I'm on par. He beats me. He still beats me nowadays. I mean, he's quite good. But there was a time where I was beating him as well. So I was just end up getting sick of people saying, "Oh, come see me on my game. You're getting away with robbery on SF5, SF4. Come see me on like Super Turbo, Third Strike." So I was like, "Okay, I'm enjoying these games, Third Strike and Super Turbo. Let me stop playing them." That was it, man. I think that was a bit of the fuel, like made me want to play these games. So I enjoy the games. Now I've got this fuel. People trying to challenge me on it, whatever. It's all just contributed me to playing the games properly. Like I end up taking it that serious. I end up buying like a Third Strike board.
Wow.
Got a super gun. I literally went nuts on Third Strike. After Violent City, the first one, Gutter Trash, was a few months later. I went to that. I was hooked. Hype Spotting 5, I believe, was a tournament I was still playing. I think it was within the year, or maybe just at a year turning point since I started playing. I ended up buying a board. I literally just went nuts, man. I just started playing the game. Wanted the arcade perfect life. And that was it, man. I just took over.
No, were any other SF? I mean, were any other SF5 players kind of following suit with you, or or were you kind of in the minority here in terms of you were a 5 player, and then you were like, you know what, I'm gonna kind of
To be fair,
devote all my attention to Third Strike.
I think a lot of people were going through the same thing as me, especially in the Nottingham scene.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone was playing 5 because it was the new game. So everyone's playing this, but again, I think everyone was in the same boat where everyone was just sick of the game, but just carried on playing because it's like we were forced because it's a new game everyone's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone eventually got bored, but didn't say anything. We just carried on going with it. You know, because when loads of people playing the same game, you just want to play because you want to be within that group of playing with the same people. So you're all playing the same interest, etc. Luckily, I found my calling. I found Third Strike, so I just moved to Third Strike. Whereas these guys are still at SF5, not really liking the game, but still playing it. Some of the guys stopped playing like Guilty Gear, tried to pick up something different, and everyone just went their own way, really, man. Not many people now are literally playing Street Fighter 5. It might come on as like a joke game. We all try to play it.
Really? Wow.
Like good old days, season 1 hype. But at the sessions, it's not really popular. There might be one set up there, but that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a relatively young player, right, Farhan? I mean, you're. I'm gonna just assume you're in your 20s, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Almost.
Yeah.
What do you think? How old do you think I am?
I don't know. You look like around 22, maybe.
I wish I was 20. I'm 24.
Okay, 24, all right.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So, your generation, right? I mean, I'm not going to obviously another reason why I wanted to interview you is because you're kind of an anomaly like that. You clearly, I mean, I don't know how Third Strike is in the UK, but being a Third Strike player is not exactly the most profitable thing, right?
Yeah.
If that's sort of what you're if that's sort of what you're looking for, if that's your reason for being in the FGC. But you're an anomaly, right? You're playing a game that you just enjoy. And so, like, do you have sort of those aspirations to be like, kind of a sort of a to be like a I don't want to use I didn't want to use the I didn't want to use the E word, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I said I think Street Fighter 4 days once I discovered like the offline UK scene. I think it was in the back of my mind, yeah, man, turning this into like a full-time thing, being sponsored. This is like, yeah, I think it was there, but I started late into like the competitive side, so people were really good at the game. So it was like a long curve ahead. It would have been nice to go down that route. I think I actually wanted that for Street Fighter 5. I thought, okay, it's a fresh game. I know more about the game now. I know about frames and the terminology and everything. I thought, okay, this is my game. I'm going to try push it for this. I actually was trying to be like that type of person, but I just didn't get along with Street Fighter 5. And then I thought, well, why am I doing this? Let me play something I enjoy. Forget the sponsorship and all that. I just want to play a game I like with like-minded people. And that's what the Third Strike scene is in the UK, man. It's like everyone just loves this game, and we're just playing because we like the game. Similar to in Japan, like all the Third Strike players there, they play just because they enjoy the game, man. And yeah, I've literally just end up going down that route. The game's deep. There's a lot to learn. I'm not going to get bored of it anytime soon. There's loads of videos out, loads of top players still playing. It's like the depth is just infinite. So I don't see myself stop playing it anytime soon, if I'm honest.
Well, you're making a really strong... Go ahead.
I think I've been playing for about 2 years now. I think there's still early days. There's still a lot I can get better at in terms of the game.
I mean, you're making a really good argument for why the Third Strike scene might be the most diverse and rich scene right now. I don't know if you noticed, but last week there was a news story that came out where Capcom had announced that that they had experienced better than expected sales of 30th anniversary.
I saw the article on Event Hubs. Yeah, it's good, man. I mean,
and I was thinking, right, like, do you think, especially Capcom, because I know Capcoms work kind of differently in every region, in every country. Something that I sort of noticed after interviewing a lot of the UK players, past, present, and future, is that the way Capcom operates, at least in the UK, it seemed like it seemed like they have more of a sort of grassroots connection with the UK than in other countries. It seems. I mean, I just feel like they seem more involved over there than they are like in, you know.
I think with the release of Anniversary Collection, they are a bit more interested into it. When Anniversary Collection came out in the UK, Capcom HQ, When It Stays On, all those guys on Equal Media, they actually ran like a invite-only session just to play these old games at Capcom HQ. So normally they just play like Street Fighter 5, all your main games.
Mm-hmm.
Actually try to feed people down. I actually managed to go to one of those. And it was just great, man. They're showing interest. It's because everyone's played these games at some point in their life. They're all back. Brings back memories. And the games are really good. So hopefully they carry on doing that. It would be great. Hopefully it pops up at more tournaments, attracts new players. That's the dream. If it does, man, it's great. I'll be up for it. But again, they do mainly focus on the newer stuff, but it's good that they're showing interest on this side.
Yeah, but it seems like there's a lot of attention and a lot of hype for the old games, especially Third Strike in the UK right now.
Yeah. Third Strike's big. ST's big as well. Super Turbo. You got the guys in GMC Grandmaster Challenge going all over, up and down the UK, running ST on PS2.
Well, when are you gonna start?
Oh, mate, I play that as well. I play Super Turbo.
Okay.
I enjoy that game. I never really practiced that game, but I'll always enter it if it's at a tournament.
All right. So Farhan, I'm gonna be another old dude, right? I'm gonna be like, you gotta come see me in hyper fighting, Farhan.
I'm not ready for hyper fighting.
You gotta come see me in hyper fighting, Farhan.
I'll come see you, man. Let me get a hyper fighting board real quick.
Yeah, they make a hyper fighting. They make a CPS 1 multi. I learned that like a couple weeks ago. So that's, and you need a hyper fighting board to make the CPS 1 multi, which is pretty cool. But is your Third Strike board Darksoft or is just Third Strike?
Yeah, Darksoft. Okay. Darksoft. I've got rid of the CD-ROM drive as well.
Oh, you put the SD?
Yeah.
The SD is really, really convenient. Wow, you just dove right into the Third Strike scene, man. Like,
I just went in, man. I just thought make it easier because we have a session or weekly in Nottingham. We have a few players that play it here. We've got people like Cactu. I'm not sure if you met him last time you came.
Elena player, yeah.
So he's always been playing Third Strike hardcore in Nottingham. I've just never played it.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be good for him to play. So I thought, you know what? It might bring some interest in the scene. At least he can play it, practice it. If we've got trash, he's into the game. He can show me a few things, which he has. So it's for the community, really, man. There's another board in UK somewhere, and I'm always taking it to any Third Strike event that wants it. I want to play it there, man. So I just want to spread the word of Third Strike.
Dude, Farhan, I'm telling you, I don't know if you can afford it, but you gotta get those Third Strike. You gotta get those CPS 3 boards, man. I'm buying one a year. Okay. I'm gonna buy one a year because you don't know how many of them there are, man.
Good, man.
Right?
I've got one for now. There's actually another one in Nottingham. One of my good friends, Will. He's actually got one as well. So Nottingham's doing well for boards. We've got a good amount. So we're going strong, man. We're keeping it alive.
Oh, here's an interesting note. All of the so the local arcade that I go to is called iFix Machine in Brooklyn, and all of the head-to-head cabs there are from are from the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we bought them from some guy that lives up in the Birmingham area. I forgot his name off the top of my head. It's I don't know. It's like I think the company name was like Playtronics or something. I don't know.
Videotronics or something.
Videotronics, yeah. I think the guy's name. I don't want to give his government name away on the stream, But he has some auctions on eBay. But
I've seen them. Yeah, I know what you're on about now.
I was like, I messaged the Shen and I was like, man, I hope they're friends and we can get a discount. But they didn't know. He didn't know who he was. So yeah, it seems like. So like I said, I'm not gonna give away any government names, Hallery, but that's pretty close. Your guess is pretty close. Yeah, but yeah, what was I about to say? I wonder how many Third Strike boards are in the UK right now.
It's a decent amount. Literally, if I got a gutter trash or even just violence.
Unaccounted for, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
unaccounted for. I think that Videotronics, he's a guy, man. I think he's hugging him, selling him.
He should. I can't. I don't blame him no more, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta start scooping them up like blood diamonds. Dude.
Yeah. I think UK's got a good amount. I don't think we're short on boards just yet.
So I wanted to talk to you about, because like when I first heard of you, Farhan, it was when there was an event. It was called, what was it called? Shit. It was called Rival Schools or Rivals. No, that's the game. Rival Scenes.
Yeah, Rival Scenes. That's the one.
Well, the reason why it caught my attention is because it was an all-team tournament event, right? Is that what it was? Like you had 4, you had Third Strike, or no, you had 5, you had Third Strike, you had some other games, but they were all team tournament. And I think Third Strike was like 2v2, right? Was it?
3v3.
3v3? And I've been trying to find the video on YouTube and I can't find it. But it was the video of you beating I think you beat 3J in the grand finals.
I think you've mistaken me for Rudy.
Oh, that was Rudy. Okay.
Rudy, yeah, it was him. Yeah, that was the finals. Rudy and 3J. We both played Ken.
But you play in that tournament.
I did. Yeah, I definitely did play in it.
Yeah.
Just trying to think if my games were streamed. Maybe it's been that long.
Okay.
That long ago. Possibly, but yeah, you might have seen me on there.
No, I could have sworn you were in that tournament.
Yeah, I definitely was. I was definitely there somewhere.
Yeah, and then the second time was obviously that last gutter trash you guys did, right? Gutter trash North or whatever.
Yeah, gutter trash North, man.
Yeah. So
tell me you got the clip on standby.
So let's talk a little bit about your before we go on our second break. Let's talk a little bit about your character choice. So why Ken? Like, what is it about Ken that sort of?
I actually when I started playing Third Strike, I wasn't playing Ken. I was playing Urian.
Mm-hmm.
That's the character I just went into. I mean, I saw like the unblockables and Aegis setups.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this character is great. It's fun to use. It's got high execution, which I enjoy. That was always my main point.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing high executional stuff. Like, I just love doing that. So Urian was a great choice, man. Fun character. I started playing him for like, was it 6 to 8 months or something? I just played him hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
I was slowly getting there. I was learning the stuff, combos. I was getting the hang of it. And then I just had a turning point. I just thought, you know what? Let me just start basic. Let me just go to Ken. He's an all-rounder. He's like top tier, one of the best. He's got all the answers, all the tools. He is Third Strike. So I just went to Ken from that moment. My initial plan was to go to Ken, let me get better at the game, and I'll go back to Urian. But I love playing Ken. I've just sticking with Ken all the way, man. It's too fun. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, he's boring. He's the same thing." But yeah, he is at a certain level. Once you carry on playing with him, I think he's too good. It's so fun. There's loads to learn. People know the matchup, but I think once you get past a certain level, game with Ken is really fun. And personally, I don't think I'll be switching back anytime soon.
Wow. So
I'm going Ken all the way, man.
So what are some of the specific things that you like about Ken? Like, how would you describe your style of Ken?
It's weird. I used to play. Well, I think I still do. I play defensive, which is weird. I mean, I always like to counter and then punish my opponent, but it's weird, man. I think Ken forces me to play in a different playstyle, which is again different. Rather than being in my comfort zone, doing the things I've always do in every fighting game, is make playouts in a different playstyle. And I just think the everything about him, you can play him in many playstyles, which is great. So if you want to play defensive, yeah, you can do. If you want to go in, you can, and he dominates. So he's got everything. He's great. Like I said, he's one of the best characters in the game, and he can hold his own. So if you get good with him, you get results. I think that was the main point, man.
Now, I'm curious because you've experienced so much success in such a short time, and so like I'm sort of interested in like sort of specifically how you like when you said okay I'm gonna pick up Ken right to learn the game.
Yeah.
Like what are like the first things you did? Like did you watch certain videos? If so, what videos did you watch? Like what was your mentality going into learning Ken? Like what did you wanna like nail down first, and then
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. When I start playing Ken, I just try things myself first in trainer mode. I just try and think, just see the way he flows,
Mm-hmm.
getting his basic combos down, certain situations, just practicing that. And then I literally went to online videos. I started watching top Japanese players. There's loads of Ken tutorials on YouTube. I started watching all that and then just trying to copy from it. Why are they doing this in that situation? Oh, he's done that. Oh, I can do this in that situation. And I just added it to my existing gameplay. I've got knowledge from like Street Fighter 4 and 5, which is kind of transfers into this. So I've taken that knowledge as well as stuff from YouTube and just bringing it all together, man. Like even till this day, I'm still watching videos with Ken, getting the stuff down, getting his execution down, like Kara DPs and stuff. I just always do it.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I start playing Third Strike, I'll always go trainer mode and I'll just practice everything quite a few times. Just getting the hand down, getting the muscle memory in. And that's it really, man. Mainly videos, like Japanese players. I watch loads of tutorials, man. UKK's got loads of good Ken tutorial videos. They're all bookmarked. I'm always going to them. So it's like all the information's there on YouTube. Well, especially for Ken anyway. There's loads of videos. So almost everything you need is out there. You just got to find it and then adapt and implement it in your own gameplay. That's literally all I'm doing. I just enjoy doing. I enjoy trainer mode as well, by the way. Like, I could spend hours in trainer mode. I still do.
Well, that's understandable because of your background, right? You were saying earlier.
Loads of people invite me when I was playing on Xbox Live. Everyone's always inviting me to play online. Everyone's play online. I hardly do. I think I've played online a handful of times, man, like 4 or 5 times, if that. I don't like online.
That's so crazy because that's how you started.
Yeah, it's mad.
Right? It's so crazy.
I just don't know, but Third Strike is weird.
Third Strike just totally turns you off to online play.
Yeah, something about it. I don't know why. I don't know if I just can't adapt or I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I just save it all for offline. I just grind trainer mode for hours, turn up at an event, do my stuff, go back home and repeat. That's pretty much.
Now, I
just enjoy doing that.
Do you remember the first time you busted out your Ken in tournament?
Not really. As weird that sounds.
Or what's the earliest Ken tournament match that you remember?
Trying to think back. There's obviously the first time I played Third Strike, which was the worst match. I think it's on YouTube somewhere, but I tried to watch it a few weeks ago.
You just can't watch it, right?
I could not watch it. It was too much.
I can't watch my matches that I played last week, so so yeah.
It was so horrible, man. Just cringing all the way through. But I think it's probably some London tournament where I was busted out the Ken. I probably did okay, or probably got battered. Which is another thing. I mean, I don't want people to ever just, he's a new player, let me just go easy on him. As weird as this, I enjoy losing. Like, if someone can just beat me clean on this game, that's sick. Because I think, I've gotten to a level where I'm confident I can do certain things. I've learned enough of the game. Then I just get bodied every now and then, and it just makes me want to play again. I'll just go back in training mode for a few more hours. Think, I was getting beat by this move. Let me find a counter. And I've also started, I write notes on my phone as well now. Like, I've got a Ken page on my notes against every character. I write a few notes down.
Nice.
There's a lot to remember, so just building on a database, man. Just going through it. Just hopefully not losing to the same thing again. Like, especially with the Gutter Trash North. I'm guessing you've seen the final between me and Harley. He just literally rinsed me with his slime ball loops, man. Unblockable. I think he got me every time. His execution was on point. I got caught every time. I tried to escape it in there, but I got opened up every time.
Yeah.
I could have played better. I probably shouldn't have let him get into that situation, but he did, which is fair enough. And he's a really good player, man. He helps me a lot in the game.
Yeah.
So he beat me fair and square. I can't be mad. But from that, I literally went home next day, and all I was doing was practicing to get out of that loop. I was like, I'm never losing to that again. And that's all I did for the next few days, man. I just grinding just that setup. I was even asking him, like, oh, am I doing the setup right? Can you just check this video, please? And he just helped me out, man. So that's what I do. That's what I enjoy about this game. There's so much. And I just love labbing it. It's too fun.
So now obviously 30th is out, right?
Yeah.
And you said that you haven't really been playing online very much. So but what do you think of 30th? You know, in terms of like, first of all, as an offline option.
Yeah.
You know, because like, you know, obviously you know full well not everyone can just go out and buy a third strike board and a super gun and a CRT. And so, you know, obviously 30th is a very convenient option.
Definitely, yeah.
For people who want to play the older games, in particular Third Strike. So what do you think about Third Strike as an offline option? Because I noticed that recently you've been playing some 30th offline, right? In some of your events, some offline events. What do you think of it as an offline option? Because you play on Cab a lot now, right? So you can compare, right, the two.
I play on Cab and that Super Gun quite often now, especially on sessions. To be fair, I still think it's good Anniversary Collection. I know there's a lot of hate with all this extra frame of lag and stuff, but it's still more than good enough. I think it's a lot better than Fightcade. I hated Fightcade. I think I played it twice. There's no point playing that. It was a completely different game on Fightcade. But the game's good enough. Like the trainer mode features,
like the emulation of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, emulation's great. It's quite close. It's probably the closest thing you can get. Everyone's got like PS4, PS3 sticks, so it's just a lot convenient to pull it out on PS4 rather than having to dig out the 360s or PS3s. So I think it's great, man. It's a great port. It's definitely a good starting point. And I think even for like expert advanced players, you still can put in work on that and it will still help.
Yeah.
Yes, your red parry timings might be off, but the main things, not too bad.
Yeah, because a couple weeks ago, I ran the old school games at Defendant North, and we ran Alpha 2, Alpha 3, ST, and Third Strike, all in the same night. Like that would not have been possible without 30th anniversary, right?
Original hardware,
yeah.
That's the thing, man. It just makes it accessible. Everyone's got PS4. Everyone's got an up-to-date stick. People have gaming monitors. Because who's got a CRT spare sitting around? No one. And no one wants to carry it if they do. So it just
here's the conundrum though, Farhan. Right? Like I think I agree with you. 30th is a great way to introduce players to Third Strike, but you seem like someone who is, you seem like someone who's of the opinion that. The genuine way to play Third Strike is arcade on a Cab.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you, I mean, I know you're fairly new to Third Strike, but because you've gotten so good so quickly, you're obviously your reputation is going to improve, and people are going to start seeing you kind of as a, as one of the more prominent voices of the scene. Like, how do you? Like say for example, you got a player, right, and he just shows up to one of your scenes, random gatherings, and he plays Third Strike on 30th anniversary, and let's make it even more complicated. Say he plays on pad, right?
Yeah.
How, do you try and get that player to eventually try out Third Strike on the Cab? I mean, like, how does what is your mindset in terms of growing the Third Strike community and using 30th anniversary as a way to do that?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. If we've got the Super Gun and CPS3 set up there, I'll definitely let a new player know that this is the real ultimate port.
This is the real Third Strike.
This is the one. I'll let him know personally. We've actually had this in our sessions. We've had a new Dudley player turn up. He was mainly on Fightcade. He's never seen CPS3 or played on it, so he was more than happy to try it out. So, I mean, it's a weird one. I'd like to have it there to show people it's great, but I also say play on Anniversary Collection. It's up to standard. I would say roughly. They're both good. Play what you can. If someone says to me, "Oh, I'm playing on Anniversary Collection," I'm not gonna hate on him and say, "Oh, forget that. Come see me on CPS3." I'll happily play on my collection. It's just if he gets more plays into it, great.
Yeah,
that's what we want, man. Then slowly, you could show someone CPS3.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll convert, but it's a weird one. With pad players as well now. Most superguns that we have now, they support pad as well.
Uh-huh.
Some of the cabs, they can convert that system into cabs, so pad players can play on a cab with a pad. So there are options. We can work around it, and I think it's just the feeling that you're playing on the official original hardboard, man. It's just another feeling, and I think everyone's up for giving it a go and wants to play on that version.
Yeah, I feel like there's more of personally, I feel like there's more of a sense of urgency when it comes to trying to get a pad player to play Arcade Third Strike, right? Like for example, like, you know, there was an Xbox Live player. His name was Hard Moods. I'm talking to him like he's dead, right? He's alive as far as I know, right? But there's a Third Strike, Xbox Live Third Strike player, uses Oro, you know, incidentally, and his name is Hard Moods, and he's a really good player.
Okay.
You know, but he plays on pad, and so it's like, you know, to me, like when a player comes, like say to one of your sessions, or you discover a player and they predominantly play on pad, but they're like really good, you know, it's like, you know, like as a Third Strike player, right, as part of the scene, I would want them to be part of the scene because they're a good player, you know. But then, in order for them to be really part of the scene, they need to learn to play on the cab.
On the stick,
and so it's kind of a weird, like, you know, wow, I really need to get to you before SF5 does type of, you know what I mean?
It is a tricky one. Some people end up converting or will attempt to learn it because they want to play on stick on the cabs. It is a hard transition. Some people put in the time, man. Because like I said, I was a pad player at first as well. I just got onto it, man. I thought stick's the way. This is the future. I just did it. But it definitely is a hard transition, man. There's actually a pad player that comes Gutter Trash, Nosferatu. I'm pretty sure he's from Holland.
It's a pretty sick name.
The guy is sick as well. He's really good.
Oh wow!
I actually bumped into him online a few weeks ago, a month ago roughly. He plays on pad. He plays Ken and Akuma, and I'll admit straight away, he absolutely destroyed me. It felt like I had just picked the game up, and the guy's really good. He came, not this last Gutter Trash North, the one before it. He actually came, and he's a pad player. But luckily on one of the cabs, they set it up in a way where you can plug a pad into it. He still made top 8, but he's a really sick player, man. I'm not sure if he's willing to convert to stick or if he plays on the side, but he's mainly a pad player.
Yeah, that's another thing too, because you know there is a way to hook up, you know, undammed converters to your cab, and then you could use your own stick.
There are ways around it.
But then it's like, then people might start complaining, you know, oh well, you could do certain things on a stick that you can't. I mean, you can do certain things on a controller that you can't do on a stick, and then it's like, it just looks weird, you know. The purists are like even me, I kind of cringe. Like, you know, we have this thing called Tournament of Legends for ST, and like, I think the last Tournament of Legends, they hooked up the cabs so you could use your own stick. And I'll never forget this photo. It's a photo of Afro Legends, and he's sitting in front of the cab, with a chair, and his Mad Cat stick or whatever stick it is on top of that chair, and he's playing on the cab. Like, I was like, to me, that picture always looked so weird to me.
Nuts.
You know,
some people just wear it, man. I guess, but I don't think I could do that, man. If there's a cab in front of me, I'm playing on the cab. I don't care if it's a 2-player panel head to head. I'm playing on cab.
Dude, I was mentioning that the other day. Like, I forgot who I mentioned that to, but like, Third Strike looks like garbage on an LCD, dude. Like compared to that CRT, dude. Like on the cab.
CRT is the ultimate combo, especially the sound as well on CRT. Like on LCD, the sound is non-existent.
Yeah.
When you got it on the CRT, it's loud.
Uh-huh.
You can hear that parry noise, man. It's a different game.
Yeah, it looks so beautiful on a cab. It really does. It really does. One thing I wanted to talk about before before we get we have another commercial break is some people in the chat are wondering who you think are some of the some of the up and coming Third Strike players in the UK right now. People we should watch out for. I mean, are you aware of any of them, or are there any names that you want to?
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, like within our own friend group, like the Dudley Boys and stuff, Dudley World Order. There's quite a few of us, and we're all playing Third Strike. Some have been playing longer than others, but everyone's gotten a lot better. It's not just particularly one person. Like I know I tried to do a blam on Scott earlier on in this podcast, but Scott is sick. He's gotten really good. He's only getting better. Like his execution's great. Loads of top players, man. My own friend Will. He's got a CPS3 board. He didn't really play this game, but everyone's putting in time. It's like it's not just one person that's gone well. It's everyone's gotten to a really good level. Everyone's just competing with each other. Like I said, Scott's improved a lot. You've got people like George. His Ryu's nuts, man. Is really good. He's only getting better. Cactu from Nottingham. I just think everyone's stepped the game up. So I think you can't sleep on anyone. You don't know what tech they've been working on, so you got to treat everyone as like a solid opponent. Everyone is really good,
and I love the character variety that you have in the UK right now.
We've got almost everyone. Yeah, got Arrows, Elena's, Urians, Hugo's, Johnny as well, man. Johnny's Hugo. I'm not sure if you played him last time you're here, but his Hugo is sick.
Yeah.
Every time I play him, man, he's got some new tech. And he's always landing on me, and I'm always falling for the trap. But it's great. I enjoy it, man.
Yeah, Fueras.
Really level up. Yeah, I think he's in the chat here somewhere.
I like my favorite thing of his is when he gets the hard knockdown on you, and then he does the back roundhouse. Yeah. I call that the Fueras.
Yeah, he does loads of stuff, man. Like he will do a clap on your wake up. I'm exposing all his tech here. He'll do a clap on your wake up, so you parry it. Just for him to do a gigas on you, man. Yeah. So I've been caught on that a few times, but it's fun, man. Just seeing everyone else get better, it makes you want to get better. So it's sick. Hopefully, we just carry on improving.
Cool. And so before we go on break, one more thing I want to talk about: Co-op Cup. Yeah. So you were at Co-op Cup this past January.
Yes.
So and just can you tell us a little bit about how that trip was? Because I know a bunch of you went, right?
Since about 11 of us or something.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of us went, man. There's people from Birmingham, Nottingham, London.
So what was the roll call? Who all went?
So there was me, Harley, 3J, George, Cactu, Suck, Billy, Party Brian, his tag.
Okay.
Will went from Nottingham. So, top of my head, they're the main people. Tamraz as well. Can't forget Tamraz. So, basically, there's a lot of us. We all play in like a UK, London, Gut Trash, Violent City events. So, we're all quite passionate about the game. So, we thought, let's just go co-op now. Like, this is the next step, man. We're not ready for it in terms of like their play style and like the level that they're at, but we weren't there going to win or like saying, "Oh, we're gonna win co-op." We just want the experience, man. We're at co-op. We're playing with the best at like Mikado game versus, man. So it was good to be around all that, just playing, seeing the way they play, sneaking a game off of them, just learning their style, man. It was great. It was really good.
So when did you get into Tokyo? Did you get in like a few days before Co-op Cup, or did you get in really early? What happened?
Me and a few of the guys, we stayed for 2 weeks. We actually went before New Year's.
Okay.
We got there on 28th of January till 12th of January.
Mhm.
A longest date. So we were there for a while. So we had like a week to just chill, go to the arcades, just walk about, shopping. So we had plenty of time just to chill, man. Then it was co-op, and then we still had roughly like a week or so left. Some people went back earlier, straight after. Some people were for a short amount of time. But it was great, man. It was just good to be there. Like, I personally think it's probably like one of the best holidays I've ever been on. I'm dying to go back. I didn't want to leave.
And you had never gone to Japan before.
I have been before, but that was another long story. It wasn't really for holiday reason, but this was like the first holiday.
Okay, great.
Like the proper thing, going with friends and same interests. So it was definitely a really good experience.
So did you participate in both tournaments, the pre-co-op and the regular co-op?
Yeah.
So who was your team for pre-co-op?
I actually managed to join a Japanese team / American team.
Great. And who was your teammates on that team?
You probably know the American. It was the boy, The Rage, Chris. He was on the team, and there was me. So that was 2, and there was 3 Japanese players. Up until Co-op Cup itself, I was on Twitter that these Japanese players were looking for more Ken players. So there was 3 of them. And we just literally managed to jump on that team, and they were more than happy to welcome us on the team. So we thought, great. There's no point me playing a different character, even though that's what some of the UK guys did. They ended up doing a whole Dudley team. Well, most of them don't even play Dudley, so I thought, forget that. I could have joined that if I wanted to, but I thought, nah, let me just join this Ken team. I'll play Ken. It'll be fun to play with Japanese people, man.
Before I really want to get your opinion about the Rage, but the Japanese Ken players that you teamed with, I mean, like, had you heard of them before or not really?
The only player that I kind of knew because I did a bit of research when I joined the team was it's a CVS2 player, Desora. You know, he's R4 Raiden, and he's like the best Raiden in the world.
Oh wow!
But he played. And most of these Japanese players, by the way, they're CVS2 mains. So like the 10 team, they all play CVS2. I didn't really know about them because I'm not really into CVS2. But those guys, they were great, man. The Kens were solid. They knew exactly what they're doing. They had the execution. So it was just great playing with them and just seeing how they do. But they were nice people, man.
So how'd you do in that first tournament?
Yeah, we won our first game. It was against Elena team.
Oh, great!
And believe it or not, Cactu was actually on.
That's not that easy of a matchup for Ken. You know, it can be kind of difficult. Elena versus Ken. Ken.
It's just a long legs everywhere, man.
Yeah.
But because I played Cactu in Nottingham, he's an Elena main. I've kind of got the experience down. I was kind of confident in it, but it's just Japanese Elena players. You don't know what to expect. We actually won that first game. We beat them. I think I managed to beat 2 of them or 3 of them.
Nice.
And then afterwards, we got up against a Necro team.
Oh.
And I don't think we even got past the first Necro.
Wow.
The Necro was like nuts. Something we've never seen them like a Necro that good. So that was fun.
Awesome.
Even the Japanese got bodied, so it was good, man. I mean, it's not like we were salty or anything.
So what'd you think of the Rages, Ken?
He's sick. The Rage is sick. Isn't he like the top ranked on anniversary edition?
On PSN, maybe. I think he is. Maybe, I don't know.
To be fair, I didn't really play Rage much. I mean, we were at arcades together, but I think he wanted to play Japanese people, so did I. So we never actually played. He's like the ultimate hype man. If you got Rage by your side, you ain't losing, man. Like, he just hypes you up so much. Yeah, he's definitely good to be around, man. I'm glad I met him. Really, it's fun.
So what are some of the? Well, let's talk about the Real Co-op Cup. So who was your team for Real Co-op Cup?
Real Co-op Cup. So it was myself. I played Ken. There was Will who played Chun. 3J Makoto. Harley went Oro, and then there was Tamraz Yang. Got good few characters, good solid characters. Yeah, man. It was tough. I don't think we actually won. We didn't win any game. It was close, but we did kind of get bodied, but it was tough. It wasn't easy.
Well, who was the? Do you remember the first team you faced? And were you on stream? Was anyone recording at all?
I think they were recorded privately between our own cameras and
Okay.
stuff, but definitely wasn't streamed.
Mhm.
We were luckily off stream because it would have been a body bag situation, man.
Uh-huh.
But it was good. Everyone did well. It was an experience, man. If we won, great. But everyone just played the best. It was definitely fun. But everyone did well, man. Everyone did well.
So, what do you think are like the three? What are like three things that stand out in your mind in terms of what you learned about your character after going to Japan, after going to Co-op Cup?
A lot, really, man. Because there were loads of Kens there, and they were all different. Every Ken there was unique. Like back here, most of our Kens are quite similar. Like there's myself. So I'm gonna name drop a lot of people, but there's Tide Ocean. He's got a good Ken. Kenny. So we kind of playing the same play style, similar way, but in Japan. It was just good to see that diversity, man. Just the movement. Movement was a big thing in Japan, by the way. Like we're quite simple, like robust, or going back forward, quite easy to read. Those guys were all over the place, man. Like every time, it got to a point where I was just testing stuff as well. Every time I jumped, these guys were just literally dashing under every time. And back then, I'd never seen this before. Like normally, our opponents there, even me, if someone's jumping in, I'm ready to parry the attack or DP or parry DP, parry punish. They weren't going for that. They were just literally every time I jumped, they would dash under and punish me that way. So that was like a fun thing. I never thought of doing this, and I'm trying to implement it in my playstyle now. So that was a big thing. And just movement, execution, solid, man. Those guys, their confirms are on point. If they're doing a crouch medium punch, that best believe they're confirming into that SA3 every time. So they're just strong in every area. It was great, man. It's just good to see a good character being played at a high level. It's fun.
Sick. All right, so I think now's a good time to take our second and final break. But when we come back on the Mutant XPerience podcast, I want to talk a little bit about the future of UK Third Strike with Farhan, ask him what some of his personal goals are, talk a little bit about the next Gutter Trash, and other stuff. So don't go anywhere. Thanks again for tuning in to the podcast, and we'll be back after a few minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. All right, guys, welcome back to the Mutant XPerience podcast, episode 27, with my special guest today, UK's fastest rising third strike prodigy. We got Farhan in the house. How's it going,
Yeah,
Farhan?
all good, man. Glad to be
So,
on the.
oh, go ahead. Sorry, man, I didn't hear you.
I'm glad to be on the show, man. Thanks for having me on.
Definitely. So, before the break, we talked a little bit about your co-op cup experience, and
Yeah.
so you know what's next for Farhan, man? Like what are some other? Do you have any like other sort of specific goals, third strike goals you have in mind that you want to kind of check off, or like you want to win a gutter trash or come to America one of these days?
Especially since the Gut Trash North, when you come like second place,
Yeah.
when you're close to the finishing spot, it definitely just makes me want to play more. Not to sound cocky or anything, but I always end up floating around the top 8 side. Like I'm either just outside top 8 or manage to scrape in top 8. So it would just be nice to just progress up there, just maintaining it, being consistent and stuff.
Apparently, people used to call me Mr. Fifth Place. So I didn't know. Like I saw a couple of people call me that, and I'm like, what? Which, like, thank you, I guess.
Yeah. It's like that's all the main thing, really. I mean, I'll try to attend every third strike tournament that I possibly can. Especially gut trashes. I'm pretty sure I'll be at every gut trash as long as the current going for, man. Those events are something special. Just playing third strike on cab, people that enjoy the game. And just the community as well. The third strike UK community is it's a really sick community. I think it's probably the best in the UK fighting game scene. The people are just welcoming, they're nice. Everyone's helping each other. So I think that's another reason why I'm playing it. Yeah. It's like these guys want me to get better. They show me the stuff. So
yeah, like
how can I not play this game?
Yeah, like one of the reasons why I mentioned that whole, that news story about how Capcom was really happy with the sales of 30th is that, it seems like a perfect storm for Third Strike to really blow up in the UK. I mean, you got the Gutter Trash Kids, you got yourself, you got that whole scene that's going strong, and I'm pretty sure the people who work at the community wing of Capcom UK, I'm pretty sure they notice how hype your events are, and so like I guess the reason why I mentioned that news story is I'm sort of curious as to whether or not Capcom UK is gonna maybe step up their game and maybe start showing you guys some support or something. It'd be nice, right?
That would be great, man. That'd be so good. Like,
because that can only fuel more 30th anniversary sales. Seeing how hype you guys are,
It was because recently they had these like secret sessions where they're playing anniversary sessions.
Oh, really?
They've always said that. Oh, they're going to do more. So I think when they're actually running them, they're really finding their own love for these games.
Secret anniversary collection sessions.
Yeah, they've had 2 now.
Wow.
And I missed. I didn't get to the first one. I went to the second one, and they said they're going to do more. So if they're saying that, there's definitely some sort of interest. I just hope that they can actually do a big event as well, like a side tournament, and then it can just only grow from there. Man, people see how hard this game is. Because most of the newer players, like the newer gen, they just know the new games. Maybe they see like the old games, like I did.
But they all love watching Third Strike.
Yeah.
Right.
They love watching it.
They all love watching it.
Yeah.
But the reason they love watching it is the same reason they won't play it.
Yeah.
Ironically, right? Because it's so fucking hype, and then they just put so much pressure on themselves, new players, and they're like, "Dude, I could never get that hype." You know what I mean? But I think you can. You're living proof, right? That you're living proof that you can get really good really quickly.
Yeah, like I said, I think with the Strike, man, because it's a bit of an old game, there's loads of information out there.
Yeah, everything's there. Everything's out there. Yeah.
So you just got to look into it, and then every answer you want is there somewhere. Just find it, use it, and that helps you level up quickly, rather than me having to find tech on myself. With Ken, I don't think I probably would have nowhere near progressed to the stage I'm at now.
Yeah, or wait 5 hours for one video to download.
Yeah, struggle.
Wow, someone in the chat, Katie Alpha, shout outs to Katie Alpha. He said Nosferatu is the #1 overall on Steam right now.
Damn.
He's played 1,700 matches. Fuck.
Guy's dedicated, man. He is sick. He's really good.
Damn.
He deserves it, man. I don't ever play it that much though. I mean, he invites me sometimes on PS4.
No, I want to play it now. I think he added me. I think he might have added me. Wow, that's sick. That's sick. So how's your? So you don't really play 30th that much. You said I think you talked about this before.
I still play it.
Yeah. Do you play any American players on the regular? Not really.
Nah, nothing. Again, even on Anniversary Collection, I don't really play it online. I just mainly do an offline source.
Yeah.
I've gone back to OE on 360. Just, I think the save states is what's got me back, and of course it's been a frame better. I've just gone back to there. It just makes everything a bit easier and stuff. So I didn't want to do that because I hate having to bring out the 360 with the Brook converter and everything. But I have gone back to there. But I still do play Anniversary Collection. I actually play more ST online on Anniversary Collection. That's the only game I play online, and for some reason that's actually really good online. Connection and everything seems good. So yeah.
So are you planning to go back to Co-op Cup? Maybe.
Is there? Yeah, maybe. I mean,
maybe not next year, but definitely another year.
Definitely at some point. I mean, I'll see if I can make it this year. See what the announcement, just see what work's saying and what family at home is saying. But I've tried. I'd love to go. Haven't ruled it out just yet. If I can make it, that'll be sick. If everyone else I went last year will try to make it again. If not, the year after, or if it carries on going, I'm sure I'll make it back at some point.
So Farhan, one of the sad realities of the FGC is that people love that cooler talk, right? I don't know if you're familiar with what cooler talk is, but in America there's this phrase called cooler talk. It's in sports where people sort of debate who they think is better at one game over the other, or so forth and so on. You know what I mean? So I want you to sort of to entertain me in a little cooler talk, Farhan. So rather than ask you who you think are the top 5 players, UK players in America, right? In the UK right now, rather than ask you straight up, because then then you're gonna have to rank them and everything. Like, let's say you got to choose a UK team for Co-op Cup. Who would be on that team, and it's just solely you. Like, you get to choose. You don't even have to put yourself on the team. But what do you think is the who do you think belongs on that team, that ideal UK Co-op Cup team? Past, present.
I'll just talk about the players that I know of. I mean, I'll definitely put Harley up there. Like, he's helped me a lot in the game, and he just knows his stuff. He plays multiple characters, and every time I just see him play, I can just see that good stuff happening, man. Like, I can kind of understand what he's doing. I just always enjoy watching him play. So I definitely put Harley up there.
And he obviously he would use Oro, right?
To be fair, no reason. He's actually changed character out of it.
I know he's using Yun a little bit, but
yeah, he's using Yun, so fair on him. But his Oro is sick. His Urin's really good.
Well, let's just keep him with Oro for now.
We'll keep Oro though. We'll keep it as main character.
It's always good to have a bullshit character like that. I'm just kidding, Howie. But it's good to have a cheap character like that on your Co-op Club team. Okay.
So yeah, Harley definite. I'll say 3J.
Like
3J is like my kind of like personal demon at the moment.
Oh really?
Played him. I mean, he's really good anyway. I know. I'm not saying that. He's solid. His Mako is always giving me trouble. There have been a few very close games. There's some games where he just dominates me, but I think it's just the matchup. I want to just get a hang of it. But he's very good. His Mako puts in that work. Cool guy as well. So definitely 3J.
Okay.
They're like the main 2 people. I'll definitely say. I'll say Tamraz as well. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Tamraz plays Yang. But he does bust out his like Ken and Ryu every now and then. And his Ken and Ryu are sick. Like, really sick. I enjoy watching him play, and he's just fun to play, man. He's really solid. He knows his stuff in that game. And I hate fighting Yang. So Yang definitely needs a spot up there. They're like the London players mainly. I know there's a lot of older. Like if you ask any of these three that I've just mentioned, they'll probably say like Raju, Harmonaz.
Well, what do you say? What do you say? This is your team, Farhan.
I've never played them. I know they're good. I've heard that they're good. I've actually never played them, so I can't really include them.
So you got 2 more spots on your team.
I'm just trying to buy time and think.
Remember, you could put yourself if you want. You know.
I think I've still got a long to go. I mean, I might be getting these wins here and there, but I don't want to put myself in there. Another player I put in. He doesn't really main this game, but he's sick. He's helped me. We play at locals like weekly.
Uh-huh. Who is this guy? Will.
Will.
Uh-huh. And who does he use?
He started with Ken.
Uh-huh.
And now he's gone to Chun.
Oh, okay. You always need a Chun player. You always need a Chun player. That's good.
He's like a really old school Nottingham player.
Oh, okay.
So he's played like third strike back in the day. I don't think he took it seriously, but he played. He's like plays all the characters.
Uh-huh.
But since like I've been getting back into it, third strike in the UK has been popular. He's back on it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm always playing him, and the guy's got like unlimited knowledge on this game. So
Uh-huh.
he's helped me a lot. He used to play Ken first when we started playing again.
Uh-huh.
We were playing loads of Ken mirrors, and then he thought, "F this, I'm going Chun."
Uh-huh.
And literally, his Chun gives me trouble, man.
Well,
I like fighting him because his Chun's solid. It helped him win the matchup,
uh-huh.
but he's really good.
Uh-huh.
He's sick. Actually, he started with Remy, should I say? I forgot to mention. He was a Remy player.
You know, every scene Farhan needs a really good Chun player.
Yeah.
You know, every scene needs a Chun player that is willing to win at any cost, because that helps everyone else get better. You know, ideally. So that's good. So last spot. Who you just gonna put your?
This is a tricky one, man. Trying to think. Ooh, there's so many people out there. I don't want to cut people off and say, "Oh, you didn't mention me."
Well, you've already cut it.
I've got a few people now, so fuck it. It's a hard one, man. It's really difficult. So we've got an Oro, Chun.
So remember,
Yang,
past, present. You know, whatever. You know.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'll probably say Scott.
Scott. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah, this is not. I'm not taking the piss or anything. No, this is not some sort of like indirect blam. Scott is good, man. Like he's like the crazy rush down person. I think that he needs.
Uh-huh.
Like if this team's struggling, just throw in Scott,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy's gonna rush someone down. Like I've always seen it. He's done it well, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. He can have his moments where he might have like a bad day, but when he's on point, I've got a feeling this guy is sometimes unstoppable. He goes in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more like a wild card. Like you need like a crazy, solid player, and I think Scott's a perfect one for that. That's
a pretty scary team. You got Oro, Makoto, Yang, Chun, and Dudley. That's pretty scary. Yeah. That's a pretty scary team. That's some good character variety there.
Of course, I mean, it's debatable, but in my opinion, for now, I think that's a team, man. Good team.
Okay. Well, if you guys are in the chat and you'd like to list your all-time UK Co-op Cup team, you know, definitely share your opinion. And see
the messages coming through my phone now.
Right? It's like, damn, that mutant, he baited me into
the Dudley World Order group as we speak.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I was actually, before the podcast, I was thinking about this too. You know, what would be the all-time UK Co-op Cup team if I could choose it?
Yeah.
And so, I think my team. With my team, I kind of want like a good balance of like different generational players.
Yeah.
So I think both Hallery and 3J are going to be on my team as well.
Yeah. I think without doubt, those guys got to go on, I think.
And you know what? You know, no offense to Hallery. Hallery's obviously, you know, a great player. I think he's, you know, with all due respect, I think he's probably number one in the UK. That's just my opinion. I think just
I've been saying
overall.
that for a while, to be fair, man.
Yeah.
I think just seeing his performance and play, he probably won't admit himself, but he's definitely up there. Easily top 3.
But that choice is hard because back in the day, Farhan.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you've ever heard of this name, but you had another really sick UK Oro player. His name was Sack Bennett, and this guy was sick. Whew, this guy was filthy. So it's hard to choose between.
It's difficult, man. It's very difficult,
especially since both Hallery and Zach use the same character. So, you know, it's rough.
This is like before my time, so I didn't even know these players. I probably should look into them. There's probably loads of footage out there.
I gotta put my man Harmonaz on my team.
Okay.
You know, I gotta put Harmonaz on my team. I mean, it's you know, his Goki is revolutionary. You know, like he was really one of the first original Goki third strike players in all of the world. You know.
The thing is, when I first started playing third strike, he was there. I played him, but again, he just rushed me down.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing anyway.
Yeah.
I know he's really good. If you ask any of the London, like, they will definitely mention him.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played him or haven't really seen much, so I can't really put him on that list.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he is like an old school, really solid player.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'd probably put you on the team.
Yes,
because we need a young upper, whippersnapper. We need a young gun on the team. Someone that sometimes you got to rein in, but he's got that natural talent. And then last but not least, I mean, Ryan Hart. This guy could pick up third strike tomorrow, and he would just dominate. Like, this guy is Justin Wong level talent. Ryan Hart. Yeah. I think he could definitely pick up third strike again and would just come back to him right away.
He still enters like Super Turbo tournament, and solid. His Ryu is still really solid. He plays Ogat and Dao Sim as well. But yeah, you can just tell when he plays, he's just solid. Yeah.
You know, he just has that. I mean, he may not be the best third strike player on that team.
Yeah.
But he's the best Street Fighter player on that team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like this guy is he just will not. He's another kind of guy, right? He hates losing. You know what I mean? So you kind of need that, yeah. So that's my UK team. I guess I should type it. Mutants all-time co-op cup UK team. So we got Ryan Hart. Obviously, he's gonna use Ken. Yeah, and I like the two Ken players. That's kind of cool.
Two different Ken.
And then, because you can bookend them, right? Like you could start, and then Ryan could anchor, or maybe Ryan could start. See,
give him that Ken sandwich.
Yeah, 3J, fucking Hallery, and then probably Harmonaz. I mean, NGU boy is good too, but
See, again, that's another name that.
But I think I'll pick Harmonaz. So that's my UK team. Like if I had to send a UK team to the next co-op cup, that's the team I would send.
Yeah, cool, man. I'm glad I made the team. I've made it. I've made Mutant XP's team.
Man, I wish I won the lottery so I could just like sponsor everyone to go to every third strike event. You know what I mean? So speaking of actually, you know what? Forget it. I don't have a good segue for this, but everyone knows that we're coming to the close of the podcast, and so everyone on the stream knows what that means, and that means that I'm about to show another edition of everyone's favorite segment on the Mutant XPerience podcast, and that's Pack It Up. So, Pack It Up. Again, for those of you who are new to the podcast, basically what I do is I scrounge YouTube for some of the most unique third strike highlights. And so what I do is I whittle that down to 5 nominees, and then I let everyone tell me what their favorite Pack It Up clip is. And so feel free to comment as you watch these videos. Farhan, you might need to go to the bathroom and throw up or something after watching some of these clips. So I guess without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and run this week's Pack It Up. All right, Pack It Up. Everyone's ready now. Everyone's strap on your seatbelts here. Nominee number 1. So this Q player does a really good job of evading the rocket uppercut, but he just ends up walking right into the back end of it, which is pretty funny. Nominee number 2, that hurt box. That's probably not a good time to do Hoyokusen right there. Watch as this Necro player sails right over the Super 2 with a drill. Nice. And a nice punish. Nominee number 3. I don't get... Well, actually, this is really cool footage, because this is rare footage of a really good Urian player named Ak. And he's playing this Makoto player, and inexplicably Makoto wastes 2 SA2s for some reason and just ends up losing the round. Yeah. Those are when reads go wrong. Nominee number 4. This Makoto player activates SA3, but it looks like his opponent was ready for that. I don't know why I found that clip so funny. And then nominee number 5. So the full screen super didn't work. Not that bad of a risk considering he's up. And the Sean player sort of just decides to do it, and the Sean player decides to go in for some reason while Yugo still has another full meter. So bad decisions all around. Bad decisions all around this week from these Pack It Up nominees. Let me know what your favorite nominees are in the chat, or you can tweet me at Mutant XP. What do you think, Farhan? What was your?
Oh man, it's a tough one, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to the first clip.
Yeah.
The Q player walking into that Superman. You just know he's never gonna make that mistake ever again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he may even dash back, right, just to make sure he doesn't get hit. You know,
I didn't know, is that Q specific, or is that against every character?
I'm pretty sure that's against every character. Because it really has nothing to do with the opponent. It really has something to do with the hurt box on the super, right? So.
Cool. Oh, you know what? I've actually learned something from someone's failure, man.
I like to think, Farhan, that, you know, aside from getting a few cheap laughs, that Pack It Up is doing a public service.
Yes,
you know, because you never want to be on Pack It Up. You don't
exactly. He will never be on there ever again.
You don't want to. You don't want to show up on there. So it keeps you on your toes. You never want to mess up. So I definitely think Pack It Up is doing good. But I haven't done the podcast in a couple weeks, so the skill level has been slipping. So I need to get on that.
You might have put my Got a Trash North moment on there. I was actually worried that might be in one of the clips.
Oh, but that happened months ago. So.
Oh, of course, okay. You're going to surprise me with that clip.
Yeah, definitely.
I've made it. I've survived.
So before we wrap things up here on the Mutant XPerience podcast, let's talk a little bit about the next Gutter Trash. So for those of you who don't know, Gutter Trash is going to emanate from Arcade Club in Manchester, October 6th through 7th. Is that what it was?
That's the date they've given for now. I don't think it's 100% confirmed, but it's the most likely the date it's going to go for. 6th to 7th.
So I just wanted to go ahead and just show that information here. So we got Gutter Trash once again emanating from Manchester, 6th through 7th, and I know that Ant took a Virtual Fool. He took a really active role in the Gutter Trash events.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, a lot of other people, I think George and Hallery are taking a more active role. Demo obviously is always there to support the scene. And so you went to the Gutter Trash North event, right, Farhan? And so tell us a little bit about Arcade Club, that venue.
Yeah, so the last Gutter Trash was Gutter Trash North. So normally it's always done in London. And this time they've actually brought it up north, as the name suggests. Mm-hmm. And the venue they used was Arcade Club. And Arcade Club's fairly new. I mean, it's a few years old, roughly. But it's just full of arcade. So there's Blast Cities, Astro Cities, loads of Japanese arcade machines there. It's just like a cool arcade venue. So I guess it makes sense for Thirst Strike to be on there, because the cabs and everything's all there. Just need to put the boards in. think they might have had 1 or 2 boards anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a really cool venue, good atmosphere in there. So I guess it kind of makes sense to do it in there, man.
Was it about a 2-hour ride from London on the train?
Maybe 3.
3 hour? 3 hour? 3.5? Yeah. Okay.
Like, I'm from Nottingham. Nottingham to Manchester is about 2 hours.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I think London definitely a bit longer.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
And
I think everyone loved it in North. Got Trash North there.
Mm-hmm.
So I do it back there, man. Really good.
Sounds good. And so, are they gonna keep the similar format with the other gutter trashes, singles, 3v3?
Yeah,
as far as you know. Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, yeah. I think at the moment not much has been announced, but
Mm-hmm.
if I can do anything, I'll try to push it, make it like the traditional gutter trash format. So it's got a team tournament as well as singles.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, yeah. Fingers crossed when they release more information that they announce that as well.
So, gutter trash, obviously you're very familiar with the history of gutter trash. And so you must be familiar, with the sort of with the performance of the French at these gutter trash events. And so, 5 years ago this was all cute and all, because many of you UK players were just starting, but I'm just gonna say what no one is wants to say, or everyone is afraid to say. Y'all need to, y'all need to defend your land. All right. Okay. I love my French Third Strike players too, but you guys are from you guys are the United Kingdom. Okay, Great Britain. I don't think you've lost to France in anything.
I think we do need to step it up, man, because when those guys do turn out, I think almost all of them make top 8 at some point, or they're always up there, and there's always a French winner. It's tricky. Like, luckily with Gutter Trash North, that event clashed with a French event. So no France players made it. So that's probably why I took second place. There were no French players there. But I think for this one, it's been organised, so it's not colliding or with any other events. So French players, I've got a feeling will be here.
Because I think
Nosferatu, I think will be here as well. So
yeah,
we definitely got to defend the turf, man.
I mean, it's high time, right? Because you guys have been, did you go to the last Hado tournament?
Oh no, I missed it. I've missed the last 2 now. I was supposed to go to this previous one, but couldn't make it last minute. Because
I am tired of I love me some Jocelyn's, aka for some reason I forgot his handle already. His Neobon. I love me some Billy Kane and the Urian player. What's his name again for Urian player? Otana. But I am sick and tired of seeing them win it at the end of every gutter trash, Farhan. Come on now. Come on. We gotta
one day, hopefully this gutter trash might be different. We'll see, man. We'll try. We've definitely got the players to do it, but I just think they're just that step ahead.
The French are just so they're so mentally tough. The French, they're just so mentally tough. They're just so good at keeping their composure while they play.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
we'll try. We'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Definitely. So, is there anything else that you wanted to sort of mention, or are there like, if in case somebody from Nottingham or or the UK sees this podcast, and might be interested in getting into the Third Strike scene, is there anything you wanted to share before we get out of here?
I think what I'd like to say is, if anyone's listening, if you want to play Third Strike, just give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
Not anyone in the Third Strike community which is going to say, "Nah, get out of it," or not going to help you to learn the game.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone did it for me, and I'll do the same for someone else, man. Already we have new players turning up. I'll try to help them as much as I can, show them whatever I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want everyone I know likes Third Strike, even if they don't play it. I just want those people to actually give the game a go.
Mm.
And from there, they will start playing it, man.
Well, why do you think they don't though? What do you think?
I don't know if they just think, oh, it's a high learning curve. Everyone says it's like the deepest Street Fighter. Play it for a long time to get good. Or it's just a parry system. Some people are just saying, oh, it's great, they love it, but it's going to take a while. So I think it's more of the time consuming. You've got to put in time to get to a decent level. I think people are put off by that. That's the main thing, man. I just want people to give it a go.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. I just want people to try it. Like I said, everyone that I know plays Third Strike is very welcoming. We'll show you the way. And like I said, I've got the setup here, man, in Nottingham. There's a CPS3 board and Supergun. We've got everything. We've got Anniversary Collection. We've got OE.
Yeah.
Dreamcast if you want it, man.
We got it on Switch, so you could play it on your way up to Gutter Trash.
Yeah. So we've got everything, man. It's just people just commit to it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if the old games putting people off. People want to play something new. Everyone's about esports.
Yeah.
Hopefully, man, slowly people just come in.
Well, maybe esports, instead of Third Strike going to esports, maybe esports will come to Third Strike.
Mate, if that ever happens,
that
is the one.
Third Strike will be like grunge music in the 90s. Hopefully with a longer shelf life. But yeah, definitely we'll see one day. Well, Farhan, it's been a pleasure. Thanks again for coming on the podcast. Thanks again for sharing, some of that insight into the UK Third Strike scene. I know, I obviously I can't speak for other people, but a lot of my friends in the Third Strike scene, we keep a very close eye on you guys, because we really appreciate your love of the game and the commitment of the game, and hopefully we can get more people coming back and forth. And so, definitely. Thanks for coming on the show. And
thanks for having me on, man. When I saw the message that you wanted me on, I originally thought, has he got the right guy here? But, thanks for looking out, man.
Definitely.
The work we put in. So, yeah, thanks again.
So before we get out of here, just wanted to let everyone know about some events that are coming up soon. So next Tuesday, me and the Zangief ST main, very good ST player, Haas, we're going to be firing up Turbo Tuesdays again. Turbo Tuesday is a online hyper fighting tournament that me and Haas host every other Tuesday. Also on September 8th, the Dusty Knuckle Saloon, Volume 4. We got two new games. We got Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Guys. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game before. Farhan, Guys. It's like a sort of 3D Tekken style game with Final Fantasy characters, whatever. Anyway, TFC, that happens at the end of September. I believe September 28th. I don't know. I may have gotten that date wrong. Let me see. September 28th, TFC. Definitely check it out. Premier Third Strike event of the year. Of course, Gutter Trash we talked about. That's going to happen in October. And so definitely check out your local events. And so once again, guys, thanks for tuning in to the Mutant XPerience. Thanks again to Farhan for being my guest tonight. And I'll see you guys next week with more of the podcasts. And so see you later, guys.
Nice one, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in a bit.